Just a few weeks back, I mentioned how dinosaurs, big prehistoric looking SUVs had, well, maybe fallen by the wayside and been replaced with something called crossover, compact, and, well, just not big. But thankfully, this one showed up this week and rejuvenated my, well, love affair with bigger is better. Hey, welcome to this edition of Road Warrior. I'm your host, Grant Roberson. Now, behind me is the 2019 GMC Yukon XL Denali. All words that just speak volumes to me. So the Yukon XL, the extra large member in the GMC family, takes the standard model up by about 20 inches. And this week, with the exterior black and all the chrome, made me feel almost like I was on presidential detail, or at least driving an executive around, because, well, it felt limo-esque. Now, by the exterior, what I like is we're going back to the basics. Well, by no means is this basic, but the design goes to the squared off is better, makes for bigger is better. Now, what I'm referring to is back at the turn of 2000, the Suburban, the GMC Yukon, got a little bit more curvaceous, really in the roof line, started curving it just a hair, maybe softening the edges, especially when you look at the Cadillac Escalade and the transformation it made. Well, it had all that weird chiseling back in the mid-2000s, really a lot of cladding. Now what you're seeing is a little bit more refinement. First off, squared lines, really tight body lines, just a hint of ridge line right through the middle. And again, if you compare it to the Cadillac Escalade that had been out, well, that had a lot of too much sculpting and weirdness, almost like a Greek statue. This, a lot tighter, refined, and, well, somewhat back to the basics. Where the XL truly shines is in the numbers. Huge offering, basically 224 inches overall, wheelbase fairly stretched at 130 inches. Now, as for width, about 6.5 feet wide and just over 6 feet tall. Now, that's not something to undertake if you're a novice behind the wheel, especially when it comes to urban city dwellers, because this is going to demand some attention, but the refinement when it comes to steering and drivability of this vehicle makes it feel, well, somewhat scaled down. Now, even better is the ground clearance numbers. Now, for the XL, that's going to be just under 8 inches, giving you plenty of height that couples nicely with this four-wheel drive system. Now, I talk about grille warfare, which I'll show you in just a second, but honestly, it might be wheel warfare that we all start to talk about, especially when you see what the Denali delivers. Now, chrome used to be the craze, and now it's kind of a blending of modest sorts, really with a black accented, what you see here, with some bright inner chrome basically surrounding it. That gives this dual contrast. It really sets off this vehicle. Now, even better is the rim size. Now, what you're seeing here is a 22-inch, which is wrapped with a 285/45 tire. Now, that is a big offering that, well, looks still subdued compared to this big beast. Now, grille warfare is typically a competition between this vehicle and the competition, but there could be some sibling rivalry when this vehicle shows up at the GM family reunions, because after all, this is a take notice grille warfare, and you see it in the typical Denali grille. Nice and broad and bright and in chrome. Now, what's great with this particular body color, nice and black, gives it a great contrast, more subdued, let's say, on a white vehicle that just, well, subdues this overall chrome. So it's really a matter of taste, which you prefer. Now, chrome's also going to be found low down here in the fog light area, but otherwise, well, nice, sleek, premium look. Grille warfare is no longer a centralized part of the competition, but sweeps over to the headlight assembly. One of the biggest features that are really setting off designs, really when it comes to what lies beneath the lens covering. And Denali takes it to the next level. And you can see it really in the overall accent lighting, the bedazzling, the jewel that sits here at the corner. And of course, they couple it nicely with the fog lights down low. As you look down the vehicle, this is where you can truly see the tightness of this vehicle. Really no curvaceousness, straight lines with only the chiseling I mentioned here on this midline. Now, as for the chrome accents we've already seen, you're going to see it here on the lower portion, as well as the Denali emblem on the mirrors, around the windows, and even up on the roof rail. Just a little bit of chrome you expect, of course, on a Denali model. Now, as for innovations, the smart key system, standard operating procedure here on the Yukon. Now, what you're going to notice is there's access points at each door, something I truly like, because a lot of vehicles only putting it here on the driver's makes it maybe one step too much and makes it more cumbersome. So what I like is you press it once, get in the driver's side, press it again, unlocks everything. Even better, if I have things in my hand I need to put it in the back first, well, it's real easy, just press right there. Now, one Achilles heel is here at the fill-up area because it never locks and it's truly open all the time, and it is a capless system. Swinging around to the business end of things, this is where the extra length of this vehicle truly comes into play. The cargo double the size of the standard Yukon vehicle. Now, what you're going to notice first is the overall design. Black body color all the way around, chrome accents here and there, but the operation of the hatch is where it truly shines. A lot of SUVs are really making it one hatch operation. Here it's a split design, allowing really this portal-like design to let bigger items swing out and extend outside the vehicle versus the whole hatch really being open for the bigger items. And what I like is it really translates to the fob. Press it twice, pops this open, really allows this to extend items out of this area. Of course, when you want to dive in bigger and get the bigger things in, simply double tap there. This is of course power operation, and once it's up out of the way, this reveals the total amount of cargo with all the seating even in place. Now, when you need to put bigger things back here in that third row, needs to get up out of the way, what's great is, well, it's kind of too far to stretch to really get it manually down. Well, there's of course power options here, so if you press either button, it's going to tumble those seats back, and with the headrest folded down, easily lays flat. Now, truly this floor does rise just a hair, but as you can tell, it's one flat seamless area. Now, as you can tell, the second row captain chairs are still in place, but well, they fixed that as well. Just press it twice and it tumbles them forward. With all seating laid down, this is 121 cubic feet of space, plenty of room to really bring in anything. And again, as you can tell, it really ramps up just a little bit from back to front, so which means the overall height's going to minimize maybe just a hair when you get this way. Now, as for the operation here, the third row, that is power adjustable to go back up. Not the case here for the second row's captain chairs. Not a big deal. Basically, all you got to do is come back up here and fold them back into place. Diving into the second row, what you're going to notice is dual captain chairs, nice center aisleway, basically the access to get in and out of this vehicle. Not too shabby, you can go this way. Now, a little bit easier is to fold and tumble this seat. Really easy to do, nice handle down low, simply lays it flat, pull it again, tumbles this forward. Now, once you do that, this is truly almost a better access area than going through the middle. But if you got smaller kids, that actually isn't a bad option. Now, to get them back real nice and light, click it into place, that's going to put everything back in easy. Now, even better, nice armrest right here in the middle, giving you support on this side. As for the outer side, of course, that's going to be the door armrest that's built in. Diving into the third row, what you're going to notice, even at my 6-foot+ frame, is the overall feel isn't too bad. Now, first off, let's look at legroom numbers. In the front, around about 45 inches. Second row, 39. At the very back, not too shabby, at around about 34 inches. And what I noticed, even at my height, the legroom numbers aren't too bad. The bench seat, a little bit elevated, but you'll notice my knees are up just a hair. But again, plenty of room even with the seat pack. Now, as for the headrest, these do tuck down, basically preventing blind spots when they're out of the place. Now, what you're also going to see is a bench styling with enough room for 3 people, maybe in the middle just a little bit tight. For backseat drivers, you're going to find dual cup holders on the driver's side and a nice power supply, traditional 12-volt there as well. For the other passenger side, third row, they're going to have a single cup holder. For added comfort, there is a tri-zone system here on the Yukon XL that really delivers airflow all the way to the back of the vehicle via these nice ceiling vents up top. Now, what's great is there's centralized controls there for backseat drivers behind the center console, really able to dial in their particular temperature, fan speed, and of course there's some connections there for USB as well. For entertainment, there are dual screens, one for the third row and one for the second, that basically swing down should you need to entertain as you go down the road. In case ground clearance is a little too high for some people to get inside, what's great is once you open the door, nice powered step rails to climb inside. Sitting on the dash is going to be a nice huge touchscreen system, real easy to use. Down below is going to be your presets. Up above is going to be the shortcuts for the various apps. Now, if you get lost, you can press the home button. That gives you a nice visual of the various functionality. And of course, you can keep your presets up there should you need to change your entertainment. Now, as for the knob selection, you do have a nice symmetric volume knob as well as menu select with various functions in between. Now, if you do need to hide anything away, that screen can rise to the occasion. Give you a nice shallow tray and a USB connection. For climate control, it's going to be that tri-zone system, dual zones up front with really a nice digital readout for temperature, as well as various vent selection and a fan speed knob here in the middle. For backseat drivers, you do have the controls here as well. So in case it's for small children, you can control it. You can even lock them out so they can't control it at all. Between front occupants, you're going to find dual cup holders and a nice shallow tray here with USB connections. Nice area for change or to put your phones, and another chargeability here just the same. Between the front occupants, you're going to find a huge center console, nice elbow support inside, deep cargo area, basically housing all the headphones, cables, and chargeability on both sides. Now, to make sure this vehicle can get down the road, you basically got to have enough power, and this vehicle does quite well, specifically with a 6.2 liter V8 engine. That's going to deliver around about 420 horses and 460 foot-pounds of torque. It's also going to deliver towing rating is around about 8,000 pounds. Now, the engine is coupled to a 10-speed automatic transmission. That does it for this edition of Road Warrior, and a test drive behind the wheel of the 2019 GMC Yukon XL Denali, a bigger is better vehicle that makes no apologies and definitely can get you going down the road with enough people and cargo to boot. Now, as always, thank you for watching this edition of Road Warrior. Keep both hands on the wheel and eyes straight ahead.